Guys, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back again to our RTS TV show, Real Talk Show. Today is another day. Thank you so much. First of all, let me appreciate you for your support. From the first video that we've uploaded on our platform, we've seen at least a quite number of you supported us with views and then subscriptions. And we still urge you at least to give us a support, give us a subscription, and then share our video to make sure at least you support us until we reach our goal. Thank you so much and welcome. Today, we want to at least reiterate on a very important issue, that is the trending scenario in this country today, the issue of abduction. I know it is not the first time. And because of that, I want to welcome my brother, Mr. Mohammed, concerning that issue. Welcome, Mohammed.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
What do you think, or what do you say about what is going on in Kenya, especially on the issue of abduction and the people who are being played in this issue? Because what you see nowadays, Kenya is turning into a very funny thing, because you see um, of late, the issue of abduction didn't just started the other day, because during the time when there is the Gen Z revolution in the country, when they were striking against the government high cost of living, there were also such cases in the government, because the youth were abducted. And then through that scenario, when the government came in to investigate and then claims from the public, after the investigation was done, it was like, the government was taking another side, and then the opposition who were in support of the abducted victims were like, things yes happened, and the government were the players in the, abduction story. At time also we heard that, the whole issue was like stage managed, some of these children only self-abducted themselves through opposition and all stuff. We've came across a lot of issues like that. And then of late, that is now worrying us, and then also giving us a headache, is the issue of Mheshimiwa Koimburi, who is a well, respected leader in the country, an elected leader. Yeah, we've had him being abducted and then being dumped somewhere, and then after the government came in and the opposition on the other side, the issue still remains the same, whereby the government is claiming that, everything is stage managed, like, this is a play, in the park. Like the governor, the MP, sorry, the honorable just took himself, created all those drama, and then everything is like now all drama. What is your take on this issue?
Wow. Thank you for the time. I think for me, I look this into two perspectives. When you look at the country and how it is going, we are so much into politics to an extent that everything that is being said or being done is politicized. You know, during the Gen Z protest back then, the issue started as an insight that people are trying to change the narratives, the revolution that is coming up. You know, in that, the protest started, and at the end, the government has decided now to stop the tension. After they have tried everything, there are some activities of, abduction that had come up through the process. And in the process, many people were abducted, youth were abducted, student leaders were abducted, were tortured. Some of them were, stayed in Communicado for a very long time. And, it had become from the government that people are abducting themselves. The government claimed that people are hiding themselves to tarnish the name of the government, to challenge the status quo and to create fear. Now the issue that has just come up, I know when it comes to political dynamics in this country, there are the perspectives of youth. Youth are thinking of the change, and the old generation, which is now calling themselves millennials and so on, were trying to, create, uh, to maintain their power, to maintain their presence. They don't want change. So to maintain this, they need to use force. This is where now the deputy president was being thrown out of the government because the government has realized that they said, according to what they said, is he was the one who staged the protest of Gen Z. He's the one who created all those issues, and now the Gen Zs came up, and that is according to the government that he's the one who is behind them.
Okay.
After that, you know, when it comes to where now you confuse as a young person in this country, as a leader who thinks for future generation, as a person who is coming out to lead this country, you find yourself in a confusion zone, a comfort zone where you cannot uh, find a solution even to the current problem that is facing us. When now, according the things that now given headline is that the Honorable Member of Parliament abducted himself, Honorable Kolimbori from Juja. Let's say the government is right on this, and according to their forensic analysis and the video that they are showing, there was a lot of drama played to to reach that finality of Honorable Kolimbori abducted himself, went to bush, slept there, and waiting for other guys again to come and collect him, taking him to hospital and announcing that he was abducted, tortured, and even, chemically. Uh, there was a saying by the former deputy president that there was a chemical that was being introduced to him through inhalation that led to his voice lost. You know, then we sympathized with this guy. We said, how can this government be such, you know, uh, such aggressive to a point that they can take a member of parliament, abduct him and throw him in a bush? You know, we sat down and think about who is now safe. And definitely, for some period, you realize that the issue was, we are told the issue is a drama. Now, who are we believing in? You know, you cannot believe in two different things as it is simultaneously. The government have said this guy staged his abduction, and then the other side, you can see a lawyer coming out and say the government is lying. They are the one who is behind the
That's
abduction.
exactly. That's where now I need to ask you, if you translate that into the political dynamics,
Yeah.
and then what people believe on the ground, like, there's that feelings and beliefs from the ground, and then people who see this thing, from a different angle. Like, is this really politically instigated? Like, because you see, the opposition is taking sides, and then there is this complaint, the person now who feels to be abducted, like, let me put it this way, like this now, for example, the victim.
He's the one who is
Now
the
the
victim.
victim, if the victim is now in hospital and recuperating because of the injuries occurred, and then probably is now waiting for the law to take its suit to make sure the abductors or people who did him wrong to be subjected to the rule of law. And then through that, you see, the opposition coming in support of him until even they've hired lawyer to investigate the matter, and then the issue being in court. At the same time, the government on the other side, with all its powers, and whatever required, investigated with forensic analysis and everything, already with proofs outside there from the Ministry of Interior and then the intelligence saying, this thing is all stage managed and the person just did it. At the same time, we still have lawyers, professional lawyers who are in court challenging this. Like this, is it now a politically instigated, a game changer, or how do you see this
This,
scenario? Because people on the ground also see different picture from how these people are playing games. What is your take on
you
that also?
know, in this country, politics is so unpredictable,
Exactly.
to the point where now politics and everybody is trying to survive, you know,
For a
trying to
personal gain.
on a personal perspectives.
Okay.
Everybody want to maintain his position. When you look at the opposition, you don't know if opposition is for revolution or for power. When you look at the government, you don't know if the government is for the people or for itself, because everybody is trying to fight for their space.
Exactly.
Everybody is trying to fight for their space. You see the parliament discussing uh, things that are not adding up. The parliament is there to make laws for for the country, to protect the citizen, to work for the citizen, to oversight the government. The same parliament were discussing, and some of them were defending the government, some are against the government, and you don't know what is actually really working for the country.
So this country really needs prayer, and not only a prayer, but mass prayer.
It needs a mass prayer,
It needs a
and
mass
I
prayer.
think the prayer can. The, it is not only the prayer.
Mm.
The only things that this country needs is change.
Now, how do we come now, like according to your views, to your opinions now, how do you think the government should realign to issues, come down to a man as like on the table and see, okay, like the last time when the government had a national prayer, Beatrice Elachi, you've heard of Beatrice Elachi when
Yeah.
she was praying for the country. People have seen the magnitude in her prayer. There is a way that people have seen the magnitude in her prayer, and then the prayer she's praying for the country. If you look at from very far, really, it touches what is exactly going on the
What is
ground. Like it
exactly,
is
yeah.
not against what is not going. Like it is exactly what is going on in the country. That is according to the Gen Z revolution, what happened, recently in the
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
Now, if you are now going the other side, like people, okay, what they are not like really who they are. The same leaders who are there for the prayers are the same leaders being prayed for through that prayer of Beatrice Elachi. So now, to your own opinion, like according to your views, what do you think that this government or these people of this country, Kenya, should have done to go away, to go from this?
The issue with the government of this country, or maybe the leaders, is honesty and integrity.
Everything starts from being honest and
Yeah,
integrity.
these people were not honest. These people were not uh, integral. They don't have that integrity. When you have an integrity, is ability to do things right when everybody is not seeing you. You need to do things right the way they are. But the issue is what the government is saying or what other leaders. I don't think if the opposition is better than government. You don't know who is opposing who. Because as I've said, everybody is pushing for himself.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to survive at that point. Now, when you look at the government and the opposition, we cannot say opposition is now better than the government, nor
And the
the,
most funny thing, both of them are using the rule of law, the
the
constitution of this
yeah.
country.
You see, now I think the only thing is that the country to raise to stand up, to think of who is actually for us, who is actually loving us. Is the
Exactly.
person we love us?
Yeah, of course.
Is the person we follow care about us?
Does he really mean what he means from
Does
the
he
start?
really mean what we want?
Mhm.
Is he seeing the things that we are seeing? You see, we can sit down and clap, and make noise for a person who have totally different agenda with what we have. So I think for us, leaders have nothing because these guys will come together one day and talk the same things again. Previously, President William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga was actually, the fire and the bush
Mhm.
previously, but today they are friends. They are praising each other like nothing has ever happened. Raila is now a very good person to President William Ruto, and President William Ruto is now a very nice person to Raila Odinga. You
And
see,
Mr. Muhammad, sorry to have intervened you. Aside from this, let me take you back to our county, Mandera. First, you've seen our honorable member, the woman MP, Honorable Omar Khair Muhammad. I think distributed the portion meal machines to the people outside there. And then you've seen the reaction from the public. Okay, like how do you see? Is it like the right time or is it also the right idea to make sure those portion meals should have been for those people at this time? Because according to the reaction from the people on the ground, and then those machines being presented to them by the honorable member, things seemed very funny. Like, how do you see? What is
you know,
your take on that?
ah, I have seen that the portion meal, a very beautiful portion meal that was being placed. I don't know whether it is in Takaba.
In Sitakapsak. So I
It's
think
there,
to
Mandera
cover
West, I think
constituency.
so. Yeah, I think it was in Mandera West. But I look this into two different perspectives. One is that the honorable member, Mama County, was trying.
She tried at least.
She's trying, but the question that comes to me, that is it the right time for portion?
Mm, for me, no, but let me see your opinion because I think the issue of portion meal at
Do
the
we
moment.
really need portion meal at this point?
The place itself, I think that place is a bit far from the town itself. A
Yeah,
place I believe, if I'm not 100% sure, not connected to the even. I think that quality electricity. Such a portion mills need electricity. They need generators. They need those stuffs. And then the town itself is a bit far from the big town,
yeah. There's
now the
issues
availability
transport
of
and
raw materials that is required for that machine, to be working very well, will also need, it needs maintenance and a lot of issues. I think at the moment that machine, she should have brought another option than that.
the question I'm asking myself, and I'm very sure that most of the people down there asking themselves, is that yes, the portion meal is here with us, and then what comes to your mind is that, is there food?
That's also another problem
Is
because
there a food
the people are
to work
starving.
this
Some of the
portion meal?
people have no even good
They
access
don't
to
have
food.
people that don't have food.
Yeah.
And then what was being presented there, when I look at the video very keenly.
And then it's now there's no
It
farming
was
system.
written,
There is no.
I don't know what, empowerment of youth, women, and the people. And when you look at the topic and the thing that was being presented, I think they were talking of different things.
Yeah,
What youth needs is different empowerment. What women needs is different kind of empowerment.
yeah,
What people with disabilities are in need of are not portion.
yeah. They don't need much of it
The
actually. Yeah.
empowerment, now, yes, honorable member is correct by bringing the portion meal to the community so that they eat, but the question that she need to emphasize and ask herself before is there food in that place?
That's the first question. Water.
As yeah, is there
The
water,
basic
is
needs
there
itself.
electricity?
The basic needs itself is also a matter.
You see how many people can benefit from that portion meal? The question. Now we have a lot of youth who are in universities, but they lack school fees
And the parents are poor.
and their parents are poor. We have a lot of women, a lot of girls who need motivation, who need mentorship.
Mentorship.
Our girls needs mentorship. Down there we only live as a human being. We don't belong to now the global change. We have no information. We need information. And then we have talented youth who need support.
Yeah,
And then what if now you bring a portion meal where there's no food, there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no transport? You see, a portion meal for what?
the access to the machine itself, because it is also another problem.
I think it
I don't think
is a
if it
wrong
is the right,
priority.
but she tried, but she's at least
She tried,
better than
she
others.
tried. I can attest to that. She tried, but the problem is now she prioritized wrongly.
Now the urge goes to the people on the ground. Sometimes when you want your leaders to do something for you, at least let them go for the right thing at the right time. Probably, the PA or the advisors or the people, the elders or few of them from that probably must have, went to the Mheshimiwa and told her, that is what we
That
need at
is,
the moment.
yeah,
And probably that is a view from like 5 to 3 of them. But basically, it shouldn't have been like that. I think it is good now to the elders and the youth and the people who live everywhere. So at times when probably you need your elected leader or somebody who is ready to support you, who is ready to standing with you, you ask at least what is the standing at the moment, what is right for you. I think that should have happened. But
yeah,
now,
yeah. The issue is, when someone does something good in a wrong way, there's a point of correction.
yeah, of course,
And the problem with our people is that they praise everything. Everything is good, they clap.
yeah, that's what.
I saw someone say we have never seen portion meal, and this is the best thing that can ever
And he
happen in
has never seen the operation itself
how
might be
can you
difficult.
praise a portion meal like that
I don't
when your children are not getting the school fees, when
People are even not going to school
yeah,
because of school books, you know, there are a lot
A
of
lot of
issues there on the
issues.
ground. People first need to, school first is the
Yeah.
best. Like, you know,
So
at least if they should, some of those schools, if you go to them, like probably, I know every department iko na department yenyewe
yeah,
inasimamia, lakini sasa hata wewe pia wakati unataka kusaidia, because now you have the cash and you know the support, you at least look where it is possible to support these people that will going to help these people tomorrow, maybe in the near future. But those machines can crack down anytime, and then you
yeah.
don't get the maintenance, and then those stuff just in a
The
few times.
reality is there's no food there.
That's also not reality. Yeah,
One thing that the government or the leaders need to know that, you know, bring the portion meal with some rice, some maize, and some
at
materials
least
that
food
people
store
are saying.
somewhere
Yeah,
with support.
with support. Let this portion meal be functional. Isikuwe tu kitu umeleta and then mnapiga picha inaisha, you know, alafu inabaki na mtu mmoja inapotea hivyo hivyo.
Wow. Lastly, what message now could you give to our leaders at a time like this? For example, you know, we live also in this country, the scenarios in this country. Of course, we also talked about the abduction stories. At the same time, we also talked about, you know, the issue of portion meal being distributed to our people down there. And then this issue, like, you know, what the trending, any trending issue that is happening in this country in connections to our people there on the ground, because, you know, we've been told for a very long time that we are marginalized, we are not connected to this government, we don't own anything that is happening in this country, yet we have leaders elected, people who serve in this country. In the real sense, we all belong to the same caravan. Now, how do you think now the issue that is happening in this country, the issue of self-abduction and this stuff, to also our leaders, does it also happen there, or do they also have?
You know, we are in a country where two people of different views are living. We have Gen Zs who are thinking about revolution. Gen Zs who wake up and say, yes, we now realize that we are alive. Tanzania was sleeping. You see, we go and try to wake up Tanzania. Tunawaambia, you guys, hey, hakuna kitu mnafanya. You guys stand up for yourself.
Exactly.
We go to Uganda and vote to remove the government of the day and replace them with another government that Gen Z thinks that this can be better. You know, when we go back to Mandera, Wajir and Garissa, let me say, or Marsabit, or you know, Isiolo,
Yeah. All this stuff.
we have Isiolo with a lot of drama.
Yeah, of course. The other time
Isiolo
there's
with a
also a
lot
kind of
of
drama.
drama. I think Isiolo became now the zone where when the Senate wants to trend, they call Isiolo to trend. Isiolo, I don't know why when if this governor has done all those things that the Senate are complaining about, then why the government are not taking action to save these people? We have Wajir, who have a very clever and handsome governor,
Yeah.
with a lot of English.
Yeah, of course.
And then the problem is, you know, the other day he was in the committee, uh, being, you know, the committee that was
Yeah, he was
doing
asking a question.
public service committee. The first question he was asked, and he said, you know, this is politics.
This
Which
is political system.
politics?
Which politics?
Which politics? Now, the advice or the thing that I want to say today, I want to say this
No, I mean,
to the
like,
public.
when Mandera is always, I know Mandera is part of this country. We also have same leaders, same function, same system. They want to see when scenarios, dramas, and this stuff happen. Mandera always misses out. At the
Yeah.
same time, when also there is an advantage that's going on in this country in the name of marginalization and being forgotten, you still miss out. At least Isiolo is a
There is
bit better, whereby in a cause
Mandela
of
is,
drama that's happened in this country, Isiolo is also, like you said, at least is coming in. Does that show
yeah.
now?
At least we are seeing Shallow somewhere.
Yeah, Isiolo. So
Even
meaning
if it is a bad
we
place,
are
we are
still
seeing.
far away from this
Yeah,
country.
we are seeing. We are seeing. But where is
That's what I'm
Mandela?
saying.
The question is, where is Mandela? We are not seeing our leaders in parliament speaking
Yeah,
for
of
us,
course, they
for
don't
our, for
contribute well
yeah.
as required. That's
You
also
want
another issue.
the issue
We
is now
always elect the people. Yes, they go to parliament, but
sleeping.
the contributions they give are less. Like,
You know
it's not.
how many times have you ever seen a member of parliament from Mandela? speaking in
I think
parliament?
very less, very few of them. Like I've seen sometimes the Honorable Corre and then Major Bashir of Mandera.
Was saying one or two.
Yeah, one or two. But I don't think if
You cannot be in parliament for 5 years
the only best
and
contributor most of the times I see is in the Senate. I think our
then the
Honorable.
question that we need to ask ourselves is that are they silent in parliament and vocal at home?
I think probably no.
No, they are silent. So I don't think if we are distributing or we are giving out backbenchers to parliament. You see,
Probably we are doing that always. So I think
we are
the people of
contributors of
Mandera, the
backbenchers
people
in
from
parliament.
our region this time should also think
So what
about
we
that.
need to talk about is now is we have leaders, and I want to say this to our leaders: kindly show up,
Of
show
course, they
up.
showed up.
We are very happy seeing you in front of speakers and saying, Mr. Speaker, sir,
Huh?
this and this is happening in Mandela.
And
Kindly show up.
one thing I want to tell to take an opportunity of this camera is that the same leaders you are urging them to come and support us. Also, this is your media station. This is where you will come and talk to your people. We will honor you, will respect you, will give you protocols. And due to that, I will also welcome our leaders from Mandera and Northern Kenya and Northeastern
Yeah, to come and
class.
share with us and
You,
share with the
the
public.
ground is open for you. This is for the first time we brought you a media station for you, and we really need your support. Please welcome. Come and talk
So,
to your people.
so the issue is now, I want to just say to them that stand up. It is not only standing up and talking in Mandela. Come and talk in parliament, guys. Say something that is affecting us.
Exactly.
Let's hear. Even if you are doing nothing, we need to hear them.
Yeah, we don't hear them. We
We
know
need
we
to
see
hear
them
our problem.
somewhere appearing and
Yeah.
talking. At least we'll say, "Oh, you see,
Uh,
we have an active
so
leader
so
somewhere."
I think that is what we need to say to them. And I want to appreciate the members of our family here, the Real Talk Show family. We are very happy to have you. We need to appreciate the time you are giving us. And I think you will enjoy this as we continue.
Exactly.
Thank you and welcome all.
Guys, thank you so much. I know today we've had a very good time again. We've talked on so many issues. I know, yes, we've touched so many areas is because this only to converse on the current issues. At least you've had something from us, okay? The floor is also open for you. You can also have your opinion down there on the comment. And guys, what we need from you is support. The first thing is this station, RTS TV, Real Talk Show, is a show we've just started. This is now the second, program we brought, and then probably now, as we go forward, we're going to bring in more protocols, and programs, and then this thing will going to involve you everywhere. With anything, any opinion or whatever you want, we will support you. We are there for you. We have already started for you, but because we've started for you, we need you. We need your support. So guys, please come and support us, give us subscription, share, comment, and then come for us. Thank you so much.
Real Talk siku zote.